The Overpolemical Podcast.
The Overpolemical
Podcast. The Overpolemical Podcast.
3, 2, 1. And ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, what's up, guys? We're live again. Well, actually, we're not live. This is going to be played for you guys later. This is fake live, fake news. So we're back. Maciek, you smell like shit.
Yeah, I just came from my AZS training. I mean, we had a practice, just a soccer practice. In Poland, there's more... I think it's more recreational than in the States, because college sports in the States are huge.
Yeah.
Like football and basketball
true.
and volleyball for girls.
In Poland, it's more recreational.
It's usually recreational. I mean, there are some...
Differently, it's more amateur, but then again, people from college football clubs go to the Olympics and shit. Like, all our Olympic runners run in college clubs, things like that.
But,
so it's more amateurish, but it's not...
But as far as like if you were like, let's say football/soccer, for instance, usually the players that play for their college clubs are just not as good as your second division or first division.
Yeah,
like the players who want to be
because soccer is
players.
We have so many levels of professional soccer that
it's
actually we
quite
do
hilarious.
though.
Yeah. There's like
5 leagues that you earn money playing in.
There's more than that if you think about it, because you have Ekstraklasa, which is the highest, so like Premier League basically. Then you have
First
Pierwsza
league.
Liga, Druga Liga, Trzecia Liga. So we have 4.
4 plus Ekstraklasa,
4
that's 5.
plus Ekstraklasa, that's 5. 6 is Okręgówka, and then you have
But
A-klasa and B-klasa.
But do you get paid?
You can, depending on I mean, you technically have like a budget.
Oh,
so
okay.
like usually the pay is like, oh, you'll get a shot of vodka.
Well, that's nice.
Which
That's
is nice.
Well, like you can get legit money, like in the hundreds of złotych, from the 4th league.
Yeah,
At least
legit money is also a different.
It's
a different legit money here
subjective.
than in the States. Yeah, very subjective.
Yeah. But overall, like we have wrestlers. All our Olympic wrestlers, they mostly come from academic sports. Same thing goes for runners. Same thing would go, I think, for swimmers, because
probably.
Yeah, I guess. And volleyball, college volleyball, like at the highest level. I think that like the AZS, that there's this club in Poland. I think it evolved from a college club, right?
Well, yeah, but AZS you have different ones. Like you have AZS like Politechnika Warszawska and AZS whatever.
And then AZS whatever. It just depends, I guess.
Clearly, we're experts on the topic of AZS.
Yeah, as you can see, we know exactly what we're talking about.
Absolutely everything.
Something that we can talk about. It's Halloween today.
Yeah, so
And
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, American people, and all those people celebrating Halloween across the world. A cool Halloween story that I got for you today. I was at English class. I was teaching some kids. And just to fill you in really quickly, Halloween is pretty new here in Poland. Actually, it's sociably acceptable. I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, maybe.
Yeah, but it's also
about it.
very like it's a fringe thing. Like it's mostly for kids who learn about it from their English class, or it's for like partying teenagers. Like there's parties, but it's not like you'll have people like trick or treating.
That's what I was gonna go to.
Go
my great Halloween story is we're having class. I have two students at the moment, right, like at that class, and suddenly there's someone rings the doorbell, and what does my student do? He grabs his BB gun. Luckily he took out the fucking bullets or BBs or whatever. And he puts it on full automatic, and he just starts scaring the fucking kids. He runs out in front of the house, and they were really proud of themselves. And they're in 7th grade, but you know they were screaming and laughing and tripping over each other because they started running at the kids. For them, it was time of a lifetime. So for anyone that says Halloween isn't good for kids, it's amazing for kids. It really brings them a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I had two pairs of kids trick or treat today at my door. Yeah, and I live in English people say block of flats. So
Yeah, you live in a block of flats. When I came here, when I was on my way from my practice, I actually met some Jehovah's Witnesses who were trying to convince a lady, go to jw.org, really check out our website. And
there's a lot of them in Poland. Like,
yeah,
every metro station you have every bigger.
I don't know if there's a lot or if they're just very out there. Like, I think they're probably like a fraction of a percent, but they're
out there,
visible, and they're like always nicely dressed, and they have their books, and they're really well read when it comes to.
Did you ever talk to any Jehovah's Witnesses?
I've spoken to them before. They're very. They have their own specific interpretation of biblical phrases, and slightly.
They're actually pretty nice people. Like,
no, they're awesome. They're very nice.
I
people.
only had one Jehovah's Witness threaten me, but he didn't like
threaten you. Like,
he didn't physically
what
threaten
me. You're
me.
gonna like burn in hell.
Yeah, that's exactly what he told me.
Because
he gave me this like flyer with the information. Join
and on
now.
the back it says, "Join now."
Yeah,
we welcome you. And then on the back it says, "If you throw this away, you'll burn in hell."
He said that
sinning
to me.
Son of a gun.
He gave me the flyer, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I thought it was like it was some kind of weird flyer that says, "Come to Go 66" or something like that. But I checked it out, and he watched me read it, and I started laughing. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No, thank you." And I wanted to give it back to him, and he's like, "Oh, you'll regret this." And he was like, like a freaky 65-year-old. He's like, he's about to die, and he's sure that he's on the right path. So that's kind of freaky by itself. And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna regret this. You're gonna regret this," and kind of freaked me out actually. I'm like, "What?" Like for a split second, I thought, what if he's right and we're all going to hell, and all these people, like our whole lives, they were telling us the right thing to do.
Yeah, and we didn't listen to that. But there's that, like, I've had that before too. Like, you think like, what if what I believe in is just bullshit, and then someone else has like
and
the
this
version
little like fucking tribe in the Amazon is right from the beginning.
Like they knew
somehow.
But the thing about Jehovah's is they have a very limited number of people who.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm looking it up.
I think it's
right
in
now.
the 100,000s.
Okay, it's in the
thousands.
Heaven is 144,000 Christians that are like, "Oh, what up, us and Jesus, party," but that's it. Like, that's not a lot.
What like
everyone else, it burns in hell, I think. So hell's like just huge.
But don't they? I think there's more Jehovah's Witnesses at the moment on the planet.
There's like a few million. There's
there.
like 8 million or so.
Yeah, so
they're just
how do they do that?
They're competing with one another. Like, that's why they're all. We have a guest.
Yeah, we have a guest. My dog just came into the fucking room.
Hello.
We're gonna stop this for 30 seconds, okay? And we're back.
Thank you from our sponsors, our non-existent sponsors. That was a short break that was necessary because Victor's dog really had to piss.
I just want to give a quick information to the sponsors that would really like to sponsor us in the future. We're gonna, if you want, we can make breaks during the podcast and put in your commercials.
Yes,
just so you pay us. So if anyone wants anything, just let us know. Okay, so back to the topic. Let's talk about those Jehovah's Witnesses.
I wish we had someone here who. Well, I don't know if I do because I know
a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like very well read. Like I think that
they are. I think they could probably
school us with our
religious knowledge. They'd be like, "Oh, bitch, we turned Jehovah." But you guys could witness the process of someone turning Jehovah,
becoming Jehovah's Witnesses
on our podcast. In I think they do it in an hour probably.
Yeah, I think 15 minutes, and they'd be bam,
we got.
But maybe we'd have a chance.
And then we change the name of the podcast to Jehovah's Podcast.
Yeah, Jehovah's Are Us.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a great store. Toys R Us. That's a place where I really liked to go when I was younger.
according to Jehovah's, 144,000 spirit-anointed Christians drawn from the earth, which they associate with Jesus' reference to a new covenant. So yeah, dope. Hope I'm one of them. Just gotta do a lot of prayer and apparently deliver a lot of booklets to random people who really don't want their booklets.
You know what I'm amazed is there's this thing that people say that Jehovah's, like, as an organization, that they have a lot of money. And I think that's true because I never saw a Jehovah's Witness work. Like, I mean, all they do is fucking walk around and talk to people.
They're mostly funded by donations,
Okay.
with revenues exceeding $950 million.
That's nice.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, well, they're nice people.
Yeah, they're cool.
I mean, they come around, they give out candy occasionally, and
And that's it. Like it's like Halloween all year
yeah,
long.
basically, and they're always well dressed. I always think
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
There's always there's usually like a couple,
And you know,
and
you
the
know
guys
what
in like a nice suit, and like they look like they're from the
they're-
cover of
and
GQ.
They're
like,
always middle aged. It's like they're always between the age of 30 and 40. I never saw a young Jehovah's Witness, and I never saw an
some
old
young-
Jehovah's
I-
Witness.
Well,
Did you see old
maybe they
Jehovah's
like kill them
Witnesses?
off.
Well, not
No,
in Poland.
I've seen a younger one, like probably like 20s, but I haven't.
And what was that like?
The lady I saw just now was like 60 something, and she was like talking to the lady.
Oh yeah, I just said earlier that I saw an old.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck what I said just
Yeah.
now.
All right. Never mind. Fake news again.
Fake news again, coming at you from the Overpolemical Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to Halloween because we like drifted away from
Yes,
that topic,
yes.
and that's what we wanted to tell you guys about. Really quickly, in America, you guys know this. In mostly every English-speaking country, you have Hallows Eve or something. That's what it was called. Now you call it Halloween. Here in Poland, and I think this goes also for all the Slavic countries. I think, but I'm not sure, so I won't tell you guys. But for Poland, for sure, we have another holiday, and it's not today; it's tomorrow, and the day after that. It's how would I translate this smoothly?
It's All Saints Day
All Saints
is the
Day.
1st of November, and that's a very religious holiday. So it's one of the days there's no work. Like you don't. I mean, there's no work.
There's no
it's
work.
It's a day off. It's a day off for most people. So stores are closed and
Stores are closed.
It's a
and
national
churches
holiday.
are open.
That's what I was going
Really,
for.
just
Yeah.
to sum that up.
Churches are open, and
what we do on All Saints Day is we go to the cemetery. Well, first, people, if you want to, you can go to church. Other than that, people go to the cemetery. They go to the graves of their loved ones and the people that passed away, because not all the people that passed away are their loved ones.
yeah. So
And
they go to both of them.
They go to both of them.
Spit on some graves and then put flowers on some others, depending on
You gather around the grave and you talk shit like, oh yes, he was a good guy, but it really goes you say like two sentences because you like have to, how you miss that person. I mean, it's a nice thing to say, I guess.
Do you like the holiday? Like, what are your thoughts on?
My thoughts on this holiday? I'm not really like a big fan. I mean, all I do every year is I don't really like we go to the cemetery and we just stand there and it's fucking cold and you see some random people from your family, like, it's your grandmother's sister's ninth fucking son-in-law or whatever, and you never really know them, and you just stand there by the grave and you talk for an hour, and it really quickly goes from, oh yes, how are you, to wow, it's cold, let's go. And I'm not really amazed. The cool thing is, like, I mean, during the day it's nothing special, but something that really is pretty is when you light what we also do is we light candles on the grave. Candles, I don't know how else to say it. They're like colorful candles. So when it gets dark and in the evening, if you want, this is more of a spiritual experience for me than the whole holiday. Like during the day, when you take a walk in the evening on the cemetery and you have and everything's calm, it's quiet, it's dark, and you have the candle lights tingling on the graves. And that's actually, for me, I did that for the last 2 years, and that for me is really a moment of reflection about how we're all gonna someday pass away, and you think about the people that did pass away. That's actually a pretty cool thing for me. I would much prefer if the whole holiday was just about more of the reflection thing and not about who has more candles on their grave and who has better flowers and what did Aunt Joanna say or whatever,
I mean, I think personally, I was pleasantly surprised with the holiday, but it's a completely subjective experience.
You know what else pisses me off is like it's like a fucking carnival. When you go to the cemetery, you have like weird people selling fucking lightsabers or whatever, selling candy, hot dogs.
But death is like a business.
Yeah, it's a business. That's what I mean. That's why I like the part when everyone goes home and only individuals go take a walk, shit like that. That is way cooler than the whole, it's in the morning, everyone's at the graves, you have hot dog stands, and you can buy yourself a fucking, like a sword or whatever.
You've seen this? Like, you've seen people selling swords?
Like, I've seen them sell fucking popcorn.
Oh.
And I'm serious. The place where I go, where my grandparents are buried. It was the most amazing thing. You had this stand where they were selling fucking vodka and shit like that, and you had like these people just fucked up. They were so drunk, and it was close to the cemetery. It wasn't at the cemetery, but it was really close by. And you had these fucking drunk heads, and they were just it wasn't cool. And then you had popcorn stands, and then you could buy yourself a candle and a flower for your grandpa's grave.
So yeah, I mean I'm from more of a
civilized place.
Well, yeah, but technically it's the countryside, so we don't have.
That's what I was talking.
We don't have as much like popcorn. It's mostly
that was in the countryside,
flowers.
Like in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have anyone buried in the city. So
that's okay. Well, maybe then we just have a different cemetery.
Yeah, it's a different cemetery.
But there's another interesting thing. This is a holiday where you have a lot of people out and about on the streets because people are going to visit the graves, and because of this, every year this is like the most deadly holiday on the roads because you have their toll. You have the day off, and people get messed up. Yeah, people are like, "Oh, I miss Grandpa. Let's take shots. Oh yeah, Grandpa was awesome."
My friend was actually telling me that they have this tradition of drinking at the cemetery. That's what they do. They go there and they drink vodka with the dead people.
Yeah, okay, like
that's actually a thing. Just a really quick disclaimer. Yeah. That's actually a thing in Mexico.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing in a lot of places.
I think it's the death holiday or something like that. They get fucked up with the dead.
It's the 2nd of November in Mexico. So in Poland we have that as well because we have 2 days technically because we have the day of All Saints Day, which is the first.
And Polish people are fucked up on both days.
And then the second is called Zaduszki, which is All Souls Day. So technically, you have like the people. I mean, there's a difference.
You have the saints, and then you have like the regular dead people.
The regular, So we're like, he was kind of an asshole, but we love him anyway. Probably not in heaven, but he was a cool guy.
Let's get drunk.
So yeah. So there's every year there's a big police force. There's out and about patrolling the streets for drunk drivers because every year they set new records. Yeah. So it's one thing. I mean, if any of you planning on drinking with some dead people, just don't drive after. Get an Uber and make sure your Uber doesn't drive as well.
It doesn't drink.
Well, yeah.
We'd like our
if
Uber
your Uber doesn't drive,
then
don't get
Uber.
That's a shitty Uber, and you need to change your app. Make sure he drives without drinking. Yeah.
But it's mostly Ukrainian people, so they like to drink too.
Yeah, but maybe they're more immune to the alcohol.
That's true. That's actually a legit point. Okay, so you heard some All Saints Day stories here from Poland. We'd like to hear your Halloween stories or All Saints stories down in the comments.
Probably more Halloween stories for you guys.
So yeah, but how about maybe we can tell you guys some Halloween stories. Do you know any? I mean, we used to spend Halloween together for like the whole fucking time we lived in the States together. So we did spend some Halloweens together. I don't really remember any amazing stories.
I mean, usually, we were kids, so it was usually.
It wasn't like Halloween
Victor was
parties.
kind of always the one who started like the hysteria, like, "Oh shit, did you guys see that in the forest? Something moved. It was a werewolf." Like, Victor, how did you go from something moved in the forest to it's a werewolf? But everyone was like,
yeah, exactly.
Bro, it's a fucking werewolf. Gotta run, gotta get out of here. So it was more like you just kind of, this thing like escalates.
Yeah. I remember we'd play Ghost in the backyard.
Yes.
We'd go trick-or-treating, and then our parents would get drunk because they're Polish. You know, they have to keep the tradition up. And that would be that, pretty much. But it was fun. I wouldn't say that anything really interesting happened. I think our friend got lost once.
Yeah,
Our
but
friend Alex, he just went somewhere.
Yeah, he just went trick or treating to a
It's not
different.
like someone kidnapped him.
No,
But I think that's a legit problem in the States. I think kids do disappear on Halloween. I think that actually some fucked up people do go out and catch them.
possibly. I mean, I believe it. The amount of
The amount of people on the streets and kids wandering around. I mean, it's just something bad waiting to happen. That is true.
So protect your kids, especially since I've heard I don't know if these are real stories, but I've heard like on Facebook I have some friends from the U.S. about, and I've seen these things pop up about like children being sold into some kind of like they're like kidnapped and like used as like sex slaves, like really weird things. Like,
All in Halloween?
Apparently no. But in general,
like
I think
overall.
Halloween is it's probably a time when it's more prevalent. But there's like these things where people will post like, oh, if you're a young girl and you're interested in a modeling career, if you're aged 14 to 16, and then like these kids disappear and you don't really hear about them as much. But
You know what's freaky? Like the amount of kids that disappear every fucking day and we just don't hear about
Yeah,
it. It's because if it was like a movie star's kid that got kidnapped,
yeah,
the whole world
then
would
everyone would know
But
about it.
since
of
it's like
course.
your fucking neighbor's kid,
yeah,
you never
like
hear about
these-
it. And I
these-
think the numbers are really astonishing.
yeah, and
We'd have to check that. You can check that really quickly. And another thing I think that's pretty prevalent in during Halloween is I think like you have more of these people that think they're satanic or something like that, and have, like, they fucking kill cats and dogs and then I think that's a problem too. I think back when we were in the States, I think my neighbor's cat disappeared on Halloween or something like that. So maybe he just got hit by a fucking car, but maybe he was sacrificed.
yeah, I think Halloween brings out not the best, but like an interesting part of some
the best
folks.
in people.
But then like it also brings out some very
Yeah, that's like the whole debate here in Poland, because Poland overall is a really Catholic country.
very very socially
And
conservative.
we have our own traditions. I guess you would say we had the All Saints Day and All Souls Day, and that's since Halloween started coming into Poland, like through the English classes and English teachers, and kids start to dig it because it is fun. You can say what you want; it's fucking fun.
Of course, you dress up as something.
The Polish church got really active, and they started saying that it's dangerous, that the devil never plays jokes, that that. I mean, I think they're looking at it from a totally different point of view. Because when I was in the States and we had Halloween, no one ever saw anything wrong with this. Even like the American church, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
at least I don't know. Maybe I was too little, but I never heard anything bad about it.
I mean, we were never also part of the American. Like we went to a Polish Catholic church.
And the whole community in Poland in the States is built around churches. I guess. Like I think you have from every other country. So I guess you're right on that. But I mean, even when you're a kid and you're playing and you just want to scare each other. You don't think of this as some fucking satanic ritual. And here in Poland, like, since they're talking about something they don't know shit about. It's a different culture, and they're just, I don't know, maybe afraid for it to sink in or whatever. But I think the shit that the things that they're talking about is they're like trying to scare people that you'll get what's it called?
Like you'll get possessed.
That's the word. You'll get possessed because you will go trick or treating or something. I think that's going a little over the line. I think you should just let kids have fun. If they want to do Halloween, let them do Halloween. I don't see anything bad in that.
Yeah, I mean the big argument here is like it's a pagan tradition, which it is. Like that was like a big day.
Yeah, of course. But you know what is us as Poles and overall as Slavs, we have lots of pagan traditions. It's like I don't personally think that we should just like forget that we were ever pagans or whatever. It was a part of our culture for years.
Yeah, but like what pagan tradition can you think of now?
We had Jady. That was our version of Halloween,
of course.
where you would go to the graves. That's actually Zaduszki.
Yeah.
Only we changed what we do because of the church. But people, even when the church was in Poland, people would go to the cemetery. They drink and eat with the dead, or they talk to ghosts, whatever. And as you can see, every culture has this right around the same part of the year. So
yeah, something's going on.
So I think
this would be interesting to have like a couple different people from different religions.
That's actually pretty amazing because like everywhere you look, Mexico, USA, the Irish.
That's
the
pretty
British,
much everywhere. Mexico, USA,
Oh, yeah.
Irish, British, and we
British,
got the whole
but
world.
everywhere, like all the what's it called? All the holidays revolving around the dead are right around the same part of the year. So it is somewhat of a spiritual moment, I guess, for people. And
I mean, there was I used to remember the reason why this practice was. I mean, because the Halloween in and of itself is, I think it's more like from Anglo-Saxon tradition, like the Celtics,
The Celts.
Celts and Anglo-Saxons, and
Celts.
you had
maybe
Celts
some
or Celts,
Celts or Celts. I think Celts.
Celts.
It was the Boston Celtics, but I think they're Celts.
Yes. Okay. If anyone is a Celt,
Let us know.
Let us know, or a Celt,
Yeah.
or a Celtic. Boston Celtics. Go Boston.
Go Boston.
Not really. The Pistons are doing really well. That's on a side note. I still keep up with my Detroit sports teams. So specifically, mostly the Lions and the Pistons.
Lions still suck?
The Lions,
Yeah, the Lions still suck, guys.
no, they don't suck. They have a solid team. They poor offensive coordinator this year for some reason. Okay, basically what happened is
Remember when Detroit sports were in their prime, like in around 2005, when I think that was the year that the Pistons
won in
playoffs?
2003 or 4, 2000
or 5,
not 5.
not 5.
No.
The Spurs won in 5.
Yeah.
And 6 too. I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Okay.
like in the early 2000s, Detroit was at its prime. We as like sports wise, we had the Red Wings, we had the Pistons. I think the Lions sucked back then, but we had the Tigers.
Well, the Tigers, the Red Wings had their streak going of going to the playoffs every year and
Yeah,
always being
that was fun to watch.
just a
It really
solid.
was.
I loved watching hockey like live, like
Hockey
in
is
person.
awesome. That's something that you don't have here in Europe. Not here in Europe. There's like 5 countries that have really good hockey here in Europe. You have Czech Republic, the Swedish, Russia. Who else plays? I think all the
Like Germans are pretty decent from what I know.
I'm Norway or Finland, one of them. I'm not sure.
Possibly.
And Denmark for sure.
Okay.
And I think Switzerland. Those are the countries that do play hockey.
I mean, we have some hockey teams, but they're not any
you
good.
know what? I have this friend. He used to he played here in hockey at a really young age, and he said that hockey in Poland, even though there's not much money here in it, there's almost no money here in hockey. You have to decide at a really, really young age if you want to, like, I'm talking like middle school, before middle school, you have to decide if you want to learn or if you want to be a professional hockey player. So you have to, like, all or nothing. You have to go all in.
But I think that's the case with most sports in Poland.
Yeah.
Like
And that's really bad. So to all you people listening that have anything to do with sports in Poland, you have to fucking change this because it sucks.
Yeah.
Because you have kids that like we had a friend, Maciek knows him too. He wanted to be a goalie, a soccer goalie, and he had to, since he started playing in the junior squads, like in the junior teams. He had to leave the school that we went together. He had to go to a shittier school where they would just go have a couple classes and then they would go train. And that's really bad because the moment you have an injury, your sports career is over and you have almost no education. You don't really have any other options. Where in the States, using sports, you can finish the best colleges, have really good references later on.
So sports can give you an opportunity for a lot more in the U.S. than in Poland you just have to commit so much.
Like all in.
Yeah,
Either
it's all or nothing. You don't have
or
this
whatever.
I
You
mean,
don't have this middle ground.
Yeah.
You really don't. That sucks.
Yeah, of course. So definitely, and it's not particularly healthy when you specialize with children who are too young. You're more injury prone. If you're playing one sport from the age of 6, 7, or 8, that's not. I'm not gonna say it's unhealthy because I think playing sports is healthy both physically and teaches you many lessons, like on a moral and emotional level.
Yeah,
like
nowadays, you know what they say, that sport isn't healthy. Like,
it's not.
Recreational
It's not.
sport
Recreational
is healthy.
sport is
But
healthy.
the moment you go into professional sport, you just fuck your body up. But that's a side note. Forget that. We'll be talking more medical shit probably next week.
Yeah.
So we'll
that's
go
a
back
good
to that.
good topic to dive into, because
It really is.
Because there is such a thing as overexertion, and there are real physiologic effects, pathologic effects on the body that we can discuss.
That's true.
So that's also us kind of going off on a tangent from
that's
Halloween.
What we do. We just fucking say Halloween, and then you have these weird like connections. Like, you know, we say something about, I don't know, candy, and then we go from candy to being healthy, and then from being healthy we go to religion, and from religion we go to dying, and you know, you guys have to get used to this, and what we have to do is stay more focused on a topic,
or try to
at least. But we're gonna make it work. So yeah. If you guys want, you can put in, if you want to listen to us talk about anything without drifting away from the topic, just put it down in the comments. We'll see what you guys want us to talk about. Either if you want to hear something about Europe, if you want to hear anything, we'll talk about anything. I'll do anything.
Absolutely anything. Okay, so right now we had a pause.
We're gonna pause right now. Yeah, we had to pause really quickly because we had some crazy fuckers at the door.
Yeah, interrupting our transmission. We just had some trick-or-treaters. They were like sacrificing cats. They had a pentagram drawn on the cat's head and like
Really, they were
goat's blood.
dripping
They
with
had like
blood.
So it seems like it's real.
Right.
The church was right. They've been vindicated. They've been vindicated. It's all these pagan freaking little kids.
Fuck these pagan traditions.
Running around. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Go drink vodka with your dead ones at their graves. Light a candle for them and take some shots. Shots. So yeah, but in all honesty, I think regardless of what you celebrate, it's important to remember where you came
safe.
from.
Don't drink and drive, guys.
That too. But I think it's nice when you have a moment to think back and to remember. Well, it's more celebrate the life than mourn the death of people who came before you.
That's just a smart thing to say.
And
what you just said.
It's important because people, I mean, your loved ones leave you sooner than you think oftentimes, and life is unpredictable. So enjoy every moment that you can with your loved ones, whatever you do, and don't forget them once they pass on to whatever.
I think that's the point of all these traditions, I guess, all these holidays. Either if it's All Saints Day, if it's Halloween or whatever.
But I think that's one. It's a holiday that you don't really have in the U.S. Like, you don't have this holiday where you're like, okay, let's think about the people who came before us. Like, you don't have a celebration of All Saints Day. You don't have a Dia de los Muertos. Right? I don't know.
Like, yeah,
is it celebrated that way? Like
it was,
but as an
adult,
adult,
it is in Europe, like in Ireland.
Yeah, in Ireland. I'm talking about the U.S.
In the U.S.,
like, do you guys have a moment, like a day that's set aside to remember? Like, you have like,
I don't think
Labor
people do
Day
that much.
Veterans Day.
I don't think
Thanksgiving.
Dude, there's like no spiritual overall holidays in the States.
I think Thanksgiving is a very spiritual holiday.
Is it like in a like a legit spiritual sense? Isn't it like you're grateful for all you have?
Yeah, but I think being grateful is part of spirituality. Like, who are you grateful to? Like, to life? Okay, like then life is your spirituality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're grateful to something. Like,
yeah, I guess.
Who are you thankful?
That's the thing in the States with these holidays. I mean, you have lots of holidays that aren't official holidays. You know what I mean? Because you have so many cultures, and like you don't have international. You don't have like no. I kind of what I meant to say.
Okay.
Is that you have like you don't. Like, all of Americans don't celebrate Ramadan, but then again, you have like a couple million Americans celebrating Ramadan. So, what I mean? There's lots of holidays that kind of just pass kind of under the radar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but I mean, as a
so
whole,
there
like,
probably are holidays like that there from different.
But I'm talking about like national holidays.
Okay,
like here, there's a national holiday, All Saints Day, and that's
easy because everyone is either an atheist or a Catholic. You don't have really anything.
I mean,
else,
it's a fringe element.
In the States, it's undoable, dude. Like, even you have to take that spirituality out. even when you have Christmas in the States, you have so many other religions that when you hear Christmas, you don't think the birth of Jesus Christ. You think Christmas. Xmas.
Yeah, but even
You know
like
what I mean?
like on a personal level, like you're. I'm talking about like personal people, not that like Trump should make
But
like a
that's what
Day of the
we
Dead.
do, though. That's what we did, because it's our culture. But I don't think like Muslims celebrate Christmas.
Well,
actually, that's bad because they do, only in a different way. But like Buddhists or whatever, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you
Like you can't have a national holiday in the States because of so many different cultures. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think you can.
A national spiritual.
Well, if
holiday.
it's the Day of the Dead, then like unless you have people who like don't give a shit about their dead, then like.
But how are you gonna like unite all these people? Everyone celebrates.
Everyone has
different.
dead people,
But
like,
everyone celebrates it in a different way. You have Mexicans; they do it on the 2nd November.
So like
you have,
like just pick a day. Like okay, pick a day that's shared by okay. For example, I think most people like between the 31st of October and the 2nd of November. That's when you have these days that are like meant to
and
commemorate.
they gave them Halloween.
Yeah, but no one celebrates. My point is Halloween is in no way a spiritual holiday. Like you.
And my point is that you can't make a national spiritual holiday in the States because of the religious differences.
But okay,
what I
but there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Like they're intermixed. But like
yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
like if you make a Day of the Dead, like that's very vague. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you give people the freedom to celebrate. I just think it's important on a personal level. I don't necessarily think that there should be mandated a day, but I think it's important to remember who came before us. That's all. And I don't necessarily think that there's a divide between like, oh, I'm Catholic, so I care about my dead, but you're Muslim, so you don't give a shit about your dead. Like I don't think that's the
not
case.
what I meant.
No, I know. It's
They
hard to like
give shit about it, but in different ways.
Yeah, but like you don't have to like when you make a holiday.
But it's hard to make it like universal so you don't offend anyone. You know, nowadays it's so easy to offend people. Like, okay, for example, I don't know what. Here's the problem, because we don't know what other religions do to treat the dead ones. Because even when we're talking about Ireland, Mexico, all these people, they're all Christians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't say anything about different religions and how they celebrate their dead. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the origin of the problem. Because like we go to graves and we go to church.
Yeah.
And if you want, all of a sudden, you want to make a universal day. But like they'll take the church part out, they'll take something out, and they'll put something in from a different religion. Not everyone is gonna fall for that. That's what I mean. They'll be like, fuck that.
But
we
when
have our
when
traditions.
it comes to that stuff, I think you really shouldn't give a shit. Like if someone
like, I
wants
don't, you don't, but I bet you there's people that will.
But those people should mind their own damn business because
Polish
like,
people, mind your own damn business.
everyone mind your own damn business. Do you let other people do them?
That's what you have right now. Like without an official national holiday, everyone's minding their own business and they're doing their own shit.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. So do your own shit. Remember you're dead.
Just remember you're dead.
Thank you.
I think that's how we're gonna sum up today's podcast, guys.
Yeah. Remember the dead
So
because
we wanted to give you a Halloween versus Polish traditions podcast, but we gave you everything but that with a little Halloween and a little Polish traditions. So now that we argued a little, that's
Yeah.
our first argument on
Yeah.
air, guys. Like,
It's real.
remember this date,
it's
Halloween.
real. This will
2017.
happen very often.
It probably
All right.
will, guys. Okay,
Thank you guys.
thank you very much.
Overpolemical Podcast. We're out.